I was introduced to the concept of win-win, which is very popular in property circles, when I read the best-selling business and performance book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Covey explains that in every decision we make, we must plan for others to benefit from our actions too. This is harder to achieve than you might think. Most of us are actually programmed by fear and a mindset of scarcity to take the opposite path, which means we often try to win at the expense of others. Personally, I've seen many times over that win-win is the elite law of human connection and business success, whilst win-lose inevitably results in personal as well as business loss. Win-win behaviour comes from the ability to work with the perspectives and wishes of others. If you're approaching a situation with a win-win attitude, you'll understand what winning looks like for the other person, and you'll believe that there are lasting benefits of both of you in adopting this approach. You won't be pushing for something the other person doesn't want, and you won't feel pushed into doing something that you're uncomfortable with. When you're in win-win mode, you'll be treated with respect and be treating the other party respectfully too. You'll be brainstorming outcomes that work for everyone rather than having them dictated to you. You won't be disrespected or shut down for evolving your thinking or changing your mind. If, like many people, you're someone who finds it hard to trust others, being in the open and collaborative space of win-win will feel deeply uncomfortable for you. You'll probably experience it as a loss of control or power. You'll feel fear too, because this is unfamiliar territory for you. Give it time, commit to win-win as a habit, allow your discomfort to come up and keep going. Eventually people will associate this approach with you and they'll be more likely to respond in the same way. If they don't, just remember that bullies are heavily invested in the drama of win-lose. If you're someone who's trying to engage with another person in a win-win way and they shut you down, it's because they don't want to give up their win-lose power play. This is a toxic situation for you, which I'm addressing in another video. Win-win isn't something you'll be able to practice perfectly immediately. In fact, your understanding and use of this technique will be linked to your attitude towards yourself and your levels of self-awareness, as well as your determination to live a great life free of relationship conflict. Because win-win exists within the panoply of inspiring behaviours that people who are powerfully committed to becoming the best version of themselves adopt, it's a synergistic concept. I know many people in property who believe they always adopt win-win principles, but in fact they use the concept as a manipulative tool to negotiate deals that are massively weighted in their favour. Win-win is never about manipulating people or about using education and intelligence to con them out of something that is rightfully theirs. I'm sure you know the difference. Let's look at how the perfect law of win-win manifests elsewhere in life. Although some people think win-lose is at the heart of competitive sport, sport is actually a great example of win-win. Watching and participating in sport is a very pleasurable activity for many people. Winning or losing is the inevitable outcome of competing. It's what makes it exciting. But losing at sport is just part of the game. The rules are clear from the outset. Losing at sport is simply a consequence of participating, and being a good loser shows that you have a team spirit and are able to celebrate others' success as well as your own. So although in sport there are technically losers as well as winners, there's a massive win-win of enjoyment for all concerned. You may also think of wealth as a win-lose scenario in our capitalist society. In this context, wealth might not look like fun at all unless you're the person that has it. Not everyone can be wealthy or have everything they want in life. In fact, as we all know, most people in the world struggle to put food on the table. To turn wealth from win-lose into a win-win scenario means wealthy people have to use their wealth in turn to improve the lives of others, and that's exactly what many big-hearted philanthropists love to do. So wealth used wisely also results in a massive win-win for all. As Nelson Mandela said, there can be no greater gift than helping others without expecting anything in return. How about business? The most market-driven and entrepreneurial companies will always win the most customers, leaving their rivals struggling. But embedded within this is also a win-win outcome that works perfectly for the customer and the company they buy from. If your product or service doesn't compete, it's because you're not meeting your customers' needs or someone else is meeting them better. So here too, the law of win-win rewards those who create value for others and penalizes those who don't. I hope you're beginning to see that win-win results in a happy outcome for every situation. It's a universal law, the law of happiness and peace. I want you to recognize and accept this truth. You never have to accept win-lose or believe it's the right outcome, ever. My name is Jane Baylor and I'd like to welcome you to my Business of Relationships series for entrepreneurs and people like you who want to be the very best versions of yourselves. I've spent many years on the front line of business relationships and I believe that success starts with you. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave a comment which I promise I'll read. If you've got ideas for other topics you'd like me to address in my series, please suggest them too, as I want to create incredible value for you. Thank you for watching. I'm so excited to have you on board.